Yo, what's going on YouTube? So I'm back at it with another vocal tutorial. For this one, I'm about to show you how to mix vocals like Hotboii. I like the mix, I like the song, so why not break down another mix for y'all? So all I ask is that you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get straight to the mix.
I don't need no other. I count checks in the morning, she see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel and then get paid for performance. I jump out the bed, get to the check and shit while you yawning. If she ain't ratchet, she boring. 50 deep when I'm torn.
Alright, so I do want to just start off just to say that I did go ahead and take this trim to -2 dB on the 2-track instrumental just to lower it down because it was pretty loud. A lot of people ask me if I do anything to the 2-track instrumental. That's the most that I will do, is just turn it down. I don't really EQ it out or anything unless it's like a major problem, but that's what I did with the 2-track instrumental. But for the vocals, so for the auto tune, I ended up going with Auto Tune Pro for this one. I went to modern, of course I turned format on. I matched the key with the 2-track instrumental. I went with a retune speed of 10 and a humanizer 10. I didn't want it to be too auto-tuning. As you kind of already hear, it sounds pretty auto-tune-ish, but I feel like it's a happy medium in a sense. You can hear it, but you can still hear him and his cadence. Next, I put up the virtual mix rack, which I started off with this vocal classic preset, and I made some adjustments, as in just taking this input to about 20.2 dB. I believe I kept the output where it was at, but it's at -15.6 with a ratio of 4 and the attack at 7 and the release at 5. And his vocal was pretty good, so I didn't really do too much EQing in the beginning of his mix, but I did go ahead and take this EQ and I just opened up his vocal, pretty much just going here. You know, it starts off at lift. I went ahead and took it to open. I just opened up his vocal just to kind of cut through that mix a little bit more, and I just gave him some shimmer of that clarity. Plugin to me as a cheat code. I kind of use it in all my mixes lately. It just does its thing. So let's just turn those 3 plugins on and off and let's just hear what we got.
I don't need no other. I count checks in the morning, she see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel and then get paid for performance. I don't need no other. I count checks in the morning, she see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel and then get paid for performance.
You know, I kind of like to let you know what's really pushing that vocal, because I know you can hear it night and day. And again, it's going to be my virtual mix rack with this compressor here. But again, just balancing out the frequencies, that's why I can kind of push a plugin pretty far if I wanted to. So night and day, just those 3 plugins really just came through and pretty much gave me that foundation. Next, I went with a de-esser. For the RDesser, I feel like it gives you that thick, rich vocals in a sense, which is just at 4K, and I'm hitting it slight. It's not doing too much, but the range is kind of steep in my opinion. Can definitely go down more, but this is where I have it on split mode. Next, I wanted to grab a multi-band compressor just to balance out the vocals itself and kind of like give it some shine. So I ended up just taking these 3 bands here, or these 3 knobs, to 12K, 1600, and 145, and just making some minor adjustments here. I just kind of played with these knobs until I liked it, but I did go ahead and gave it some clarity here at almost like 1 dB and 2.3 dB. I would say this was giving it presence, and then I did give it some of that, I'll say that mid-range clarity also. So with this, I'm kind of just like, again, pushing it up in the mix, even though I felt like those 3 plugins itself already brought it up, you know. And then with that multi-band compressor, I ended up just taking this auto-tune vocal compressor, which is either going to be Opto A or Opto B, is usually the 2 that I go for majority of the time. It's just my 2 favorite emulations that they've done, and I say they pretty much succeeded in it. But I took the threshold to about -10 dB. I did take the ratio to 8. I kind of wanted to smash it, just wanted to give it that I don't know, I wanted to squish the vocal a little bit. Then I took the gain to 1 dB with a warm saturation pretty much. So with the de-esser, the multi-band compressor, and this on and off, let's hear what we got.
I don't need no other. I count checks in the morning, she see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel and then get paid for performance. I don't need no other. I count checks in the morning, she see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel and then get paid for performance.
Again, you hear how everything is kind of like working together, and again, that's why I kind of add multiple compressors, if I feel like it needs it, let's do it, right? So I ended up taking this vocal EQ, and I went ahead and just finally did my high pass. I feel like I was gonna do it eventually, but I finally did a high pass on the vocal, and then I took out pretty much around 400 hertz. I took out about 3.4 dB. Around 4500 hertz, I took out about 2 dB. Around 8500 hertz, I took around 3.4 dB. But these aren't wide bells; these are pretty sharp bells. So these are just kind of like minor things that I was just hearing in the mix that I just wanted to make it a little bit smoother, right? And just to make it a little bit smoother, right, ended up going with Baby Audio. Went with this preset, the smoothest. I think it starts off with a weird shape. I ended up adjusting it to this, and pretty much just to the liking. It wasn't anything special. was just listening to how it was reacting with the vocal, and then this is pretty much what I came up with. So pretty much with the auto-tune EQ and the smooth operator, let's hear this on and off and let's see what we got.
I don't need no auto. I count checks in the morning. She see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel, and then get paid for performance. I don't need no auto. I count checks in the morning. She see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel, and then get paid for performance.
So in my opinion, it just made it fit right into the mix. So for the vocal effects, you know, I had to end up going with Hotboii. Did a half note. Did the telephone style effect. Really didn't touch the saturation knob here. Went with the feedback to, I'll say, about 25%. This is actually on the vocal itself, but I pretty much added the same delay on the bus also, just at 100% on wet at a 1/4 delay, just so they can kind of like complement each other. And then I went with a low cut, and then I didn't really do anything with the high cut. And for this, I ended up going with my relay development, but I ended up going to this preset called Sparkle Hall. Pretty much 0 pre-delay. The reverb time is at 3 seconds. Took out 1,000 of the low frequency. Around the high frequency, just around 1,000. So with the delays and the reverb on and off, let's hear what we got.
I don't need no auto. I count checks in the morning. She see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel, and then get paid for performance. I don't need no auto. I count checks in the morning. She see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel, and then get paid for performance.
So you hear that reverb and that delay really just kind of gave that whole vocal space. Like it kind of like spread it out, filled up that stereo width in my opinion. And honestly, just with that, you can be one step closer to just getting the industry sound like Hotboii. So if this video helped you, which I hope it did, make sure you smash that like button. Again, comment below what mix breakdown you want me to do next, and you know we got more gems on the way.
I don't need no auto. I count checks in the morning. She see that cheese and she horny. Hit the booth, say how I feel, and then get paid for performance. I jump out the bed, get to the check and shit while you yawning. If she ain't ratchet, she boring. 50 deep when I'm torn.